Okay, so then you admit it. You ain't no critic or a photographer. You like a salesman or something.
What's the difference? I mean, it's all the game. We're all just hustling. You too.
Cause I have to. I scare people at ATMs, boy. I have to rap. I mean, that's what rap is, making the best out of a bad situation, bro.
Right. You're exploiting your situation.
What?
You're exploiting your situation to make rap. And I'm exploiting you exploiting that. Money, bro.
And now that it's over, I'll never be sober. I couldn't believe. And now I'm so high. And now I'm so high.
And what is happening, everybody? It is your boy Blake Money, Blake Weather. Welcome to another episode, Unfiltered Bachelor Breakdown Series. I'm your host, Blake Money, Blake Weather. And with me, as always, is your neighbor with the flavor, your guy on the fly. It is your friend, Jeff. Jeff, how's it going?
Hello. Pretty okay. How's things over there? Oh, I see you drinking that Hawaii beer. I see you drinking that Kona longboard. Yeah, what's up? It's so good.
I love it. I love it. I live and
Dude,
die by the
Kona.
Kona.
They can do no wrong.
Live and die by the Kona, bro. We are breaking
The
down.
only thing that they do wrong,
Okay, what is that?
the only thing Kona does wrong, I can't find it in a 24-pack.
Kona better get your
But
shit
that might be
up.
on the island.
Get your life together,
What are we breaking down?
Kona. Today we are breaking down. You're making me.
Called it Corona, bro.
I almost called it Corona. It's just Kona. It's Ka minus a ra, add the ona. Just Kona. We are breaking down Atlanta. This is the fourth episode, the Streisand Effect. And I want to, before we get started, I want to spit off just some trivia that I found on the old IMDb's. So check this out, man.
Right.
The Instagram account that Zan Lives Matter in the episode is a real account with the same posts. Also,
which to me says they had to have created it, right? Like they had to have created it for the show.
Yes, exactly. They created it for the show, which is so fucking cool. And then also, second bit, about 4 minutes in the episode, there's a billboard shown with the website freehivtest.org. At the time of this airing, that was not an actual website. Free HIV Test does exist with the purpose of providing HIV tests, an HIV testing center finder for any zip code in North America. Oh my goodness.
Yep. That's true, man.
So this episode right here, bro. I got a few takeaways from this episode, man. I got like 3 takeaways that I want to kind of point out. So first of all,
bro, this is
go ahead.
My top 3 favorite episodes.
Really?
It might be my favorite.
Really?
Yeah. I'll get into why as we go, but yeah, I just want to let you know while we're starting off, you know?
Yeah, no. I mean, I like the episode. I remember when I first watched it. It's not in my top 3, but you know, I've got a different top 3 for different reasons, wide range of reasons. But I've got 3 questions coming into this, or 3 kind of takeaways. So, who was looking for Paperboy? We never know. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, I got a theory on that. Do you want me to put it out now, or do you want me to wait?
Well, let me describe the moment for those who are like, "What are you talking about? Who's like Paperboy?" So Paperboy is at like a pool, like a pool hall or like a bar, like a shooting pool, and he shows.
It's just a pool hall that has a bar in it. Yeah,
it's like like a fucking like we would go.
I love, by the way.
Yeah, like we would go to fucking like warehouse or something, you know, something like that, and and he shows like one of his friends the fucking Zan video, and the bartender, yeah, he's like, bro, somebody was in here looking for you earlier, and he shows him a picture of Zan. I like how he shows him a picture of Zan. He's like, nah, I don't think he was Dominican.
Right? Hey, hold up. Yes. Oh, never mind. You froze for a second, but you're back. You're moving again. We're
okay.
Good.
Okay, perfect.
Just want to make sure.
Yeah, no. So I look, because everybody gets Zan's.
About that though.
Well, I was going to say everybody gets.
Do you think he says that?
Uh huh.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say, everybody gets Zan's race wrong. Like, one guy says, is he Indian? Another one's like, is he even black? Is he Chinese? Is he Dominican?
I actually don't think anyone says Chinese. I think Zan just looks really Chinese.
Well, what's his name refers like to him. He's like, I think he was he Chinese? It was Darius, because he's like, he's kind of short.
Oh, Darius, yeah, when they're at the
remember that?
That's right.
But so my question is, so they're out the pool hall, and the guy goes, somebody was looking for you. He kind of had like his sides faded up. He was smoking a Swisher with no weed. He like describes the car.
Which, by the way, when was the last time someone smoked a Swisher with no weed in it?
You know what?
This is the first person since the invention of the Swisher to do so.
I bumped into this dude from, where the fuck was he from, man? Lubbock or Amarillo or something. And this was like in December, maybe? And this dude was working for old white dude working for actually, it was right after my grandpa died. Actually, right. I remember this because I think he had kind of known like the legend of my grandpa, but that's a different story for a different day. But the Fajita Gang. But he was smoking, dude. I remember distinctly. We were all drinking and shit, and he was smoking a fucking Swisher with no weed. Just popped it right out of the fucking package, and he's like, "Oh, I love the way these things taste. I'll tell you what." And I was just like, what the fuck? What the fuck? So, dude,
and you just know he's actually inhaling that shit too, not like actual cigar smoking that.
Bro, that's that old country shit right there. I'll tell you what. You know what I mean? But
when a cigarette, when you've smoked so much that cigarettes don't do anything anymore, but inhaling a cigar still too much,
bro. For real. It'd be like that. But yeah, man. That's the description of this dude. And so I don't know who the fuck this guy is. You said you had a theory on who this guy might be.
I got a theory.
Okay. Who it is?
If you remember, I brought this idea up a little bit, and not the last episode, but in episode 2. I think it's the guy that Paperboy shot. I think it's his boys. Because remember, in episode 2, Paperboy's getting real fucking. He's looking around. He sees he's at the gas station. Then he sees the one guy go to a car and start talking while looking back at him, and like he seems pretty paranoid. Then we got the random Batman mask guy and shit. So I think that this random guy, I think it's someone from the dude that Paperboy shots. Like, I don't know, like just like a friend of his. Like, I don't know if he's in a crew or something, but I think it's someone looking for some revenge.
The bartender did say like it's somebody who something about the kind of look up to no good.
I'll tell you what, he ain't friendly.
He ain't friendly. Yeah, that was it. So you're like, fuck, like who the fuck is it? And so I was just like, I don't know who the fuck that is. Then the way that when we first bump into Zan, first we're talking about Zan, is the way he was talking, just so like, I don't know if pompous is the right word, but like very like he's aware of himself. Like he's aware of his accomplishments. He's a bit too like cocky about it. So like, hey man, like, you know, when he shows him the picture and they're like,
which picture? The one on his phone or
the one on his phone? The meme. First of all, the meme, because Ern is like, Ern's trying to figure out the meme. And
also the meme says when you base scrolling through your DMs, and it's a picture from
the Arthur
from the cartoon Arthur. Yeah, Arthur.
but yeah,
it's so stupid.
But the thing was, Ern's paying attention to the wrong thing. Like he was looking at the meme when really Zan was like, man, I got those likes. He wasn't even concerned about what the fuck the meme said, right? Like. I got those likes.
It actually just came back up on my screen. And by the way, he only had a little over 2,000 likes. That's not that many likes.
Like 2149 or something like that?
I thought it was like 23 something. I don't remember.
Yeah,
but
what
I do know is Zan's like coming off as like, oh man, dude, I'm this big ass influencer and blah, blah, blah. Zan's the type of guy who's trying to make a living off being an influencer.
Yes.
100%.
So he's all like, I got those likes. You know? And then the other thing.
He doesn't.
No, but I mean, that's a good amount. I don't have those likes. I don't know a lot of people that have 2,000.
But you're also not posting Well, like, okay, I was gonna say you're also not posting shit on like an up and coming rapper, but at the same time, that meme wasn't an up and coming rapper, so
right. It's not about the content. Like for him, he doesn't care if the meme even makes sense. It's about getting the likes.
Well, that comes back around later, yeah, man.
You know, it's just about like, yeah, it does come back around later. None of it's supposed to be like important stuff, but it's stuff that like he's so happy that he got these likes, right? That's his life right there.
It's funny because, you know, throughout the episode, we come to find out that Zan's actually incredibly self-aware.
Yes. He knows what he's doing. He knows 100%. What the game is. He knows what the game is. He knows how to play it, and he's doing it to the best of his ability. That's the theme of this. That's the theme of this that we'll touch on probably. But also the other thing was the way he was talking when he was like, you know, they showed him the shirt, and he's like, I took that photo, right? It's all about I. It's all about
my
me.
favorite is Darius's response to that. Darius just goes, "Oh, it's your face next to a butt."
And he's like, I took that photo.
Darius's entire comment.
And the whole time,
the funny part of it,
Zan's having this conversation.
Really didn't take that picture, by the way.
No, there's no way he took it.
There's no way he took that fucking picture.
But the other thing I was going to say is, the whole time he's having this conversation, he's on a fucking hoverboard.
Which I love that you don't find out until literally the absolute end of it. You know? You know what I took most from that exchange, though?
What's that?
Was Zan he's sitting there and he's trying to fucking talk up a Paperboy, and he's clearly just trying to use Paperboy to get, like, you know, a little, some extra likes and some shit like that. But then Darius walks up and he just turns around and yells out like, "Yo, back the fuck up off Paperboy, man!" And he's like yelling at him, and then they're just like, "Whoa, what the fuck?" And he goes, "Oh, I'm sorry, is this your boy? Hey, what's up? I'm Zan." It's like,
you want a hat?
I love Darius so much. Just, man, yeah. He takes that hat. I laugh so hard at that, and I laugh so hard at it every time I see it. But the thing is, it's just like, man, you're so clearly fake, and you show it so quickly.
Yeah, that all of that, and you feel it in that instance. And then my third takeaway is, what is Ern's work situation? Because clearly he's pawning his phone in this episode. So does he not have a job? Is he still working? Is his primary job now Paperboy? Like, we don't really know in this episode right now.
You're right. In this episode, we don't really know. I do think that he is focusing. The way I took it was, all right, he's done with the airport card thing, because I was like, even when he's making money off it, he's making $96 a pay period. Right. You know? And so, like, I was just like, all right, yeah, no. I took it to be like he's just working as the manager now.
He's like he's focused now.
Yeah. So, you want me to do my takeaways now, or you want me to wait for that?
Go for your three.
All right, so my takeaways. First off, big thing with Zan. So we obviously, we come to find out that Zan's like really mocking Paperboy and shit, which is weird because, like, when he first introduced himself, he's like a super fan. I'm like, oh, I love you so much. You making a mixtape? Blah, 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 blah. But the one tweet of where I don't know if it's a tweet or it's a YouTube or whatever, but like he's pretending, like he's showing pictures of Paperboy going to the garbage, throwing some stuff out, and he's like, "Oh, this is Paperboy. I'm just, throwing out some garbage. It's all my new mixtapes." Ha 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 ha.
Right.
The thing I took away from that was, dude. So okay, first off, Paperboy's rise to fame came because he shot someone.
Yes,
may have killed someone, right? So I don't see the insulting this random rapper as like that big of a deal or whatever. Personally, for me, it's just like, hey, if you're striving for fame, you're gonna get that. That's what the Streisand Effect is, Mm-hmm. But the thing for me is that shows that you're outside this dude's house taking pictures of him.
Yes,
that is more than enough for someone to come after you. Like that's fucked up, So that was my first main takeaway. Two, my next takeaway is out of my three takeaways, It's there's another Zan one, and it was, like I said, Zan's actually the most, we come to find out, self-aware person in this episode, because he points out, like, well, you're just taking advantage of your situation to make rap, and you're just doing that to make money. I'm just taking advantage of you taking advantage. And you know what? I think Zan basically kind of just described the way the world is. Literally all any of us do is we take advantage of our lives and our talents to make it, to get anywhere. And while it may seem like, while you can look at it as like, oh, that's super petty, or like that's kind of gross or something, it's like, no, that's just the way of the world.
That's just the way of the world. Yep.
And honestly, after Zan explains it, it's also not something to even really judge someone for or look down on. Which even when rewatching this episode, I was still sitting there like, Zan's such a piece of shit and blah, 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 blah. And I was like, oh, motherfucker, he's bringing up a really good point. Like, I want to hate him the entire time, but he's not wrong in that.
Right.
That's what you do. That's how you succeed in anything. And it's not necessarily a bad thing. Now, don't get me wrong, Zan takes it to extremes that I do think are bad, but just his explanation of it's just reality.
Right. So that's your first. Is that your first one?
No, that's my second.
Oh, it's a second. Okay.
My first one was, I thought that. So it's the pictures of Paperboy throwing out his garbage, which means it's pictures of Paperboy.
Right. Somebody knows where he lives. Yeah.
So my thing is like, that crosses a line that honestly, like, if you're just someone that's judging Paperboy or you're not a fan or whatever, and you put that online, whatever, hey, that's kind of how it works when you get fame. But then I felt him having the pictures and being where he lives and shit. I felt that was crossing a line, So that's my first takeaway from that. My second was that while I hate Zan, he points out something really serious and really real. That, well, that is the world. The world is you take advantage of what you can take advantage of, and that's the way you get ahead.
Right.
And it's not necessarily bad. It's just how it works.
Right.
Now, the last real takeaway I have from this, and this is, I think this episode shows more than any Darius's character.
Oh yeah.
So, and that's probably why this is one of my top 3 episodes, is because of how they show Darius.
Gotcha. So the whole premise is, I think the 2 struggles that we have in this, there's always normally, we see 2 struggles. If not, like there's one thematic, like everybody goes, it's usually 2. And the 2 that we see in this one is, as I take a sip. The first is that Streisand effect, right? Like the kind of, what is the cost of fame, and what does it mean to like be famous, and what does it really mean? People are they're gonna be mooching off your name, bro. Like
Boy versus Zan,
Exactly. You've got the artist versus the media. That's really what it amounts down to. The artist versus the media. And that's, the media is not just the fucking news. Like the media is these up and coming quote unquote influencers who write reviews and people listen to them, and like they do funny, like quote unquote funny videos on YouTube that's like have the little cuts and the takeaways and the da-da-da, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and they might go to the ends of fucking following an artist to film them to just get a fucking 2-second, 3-second gif. They might fucking do that, bro. And they might do some crazy shit just for the cost of fame.
When it goes to stalking.
Right. But they might do some crazy shit just for the cost of fame. And they might, you know what? They might, at the end of the day, just like Zan does, he knows it's all a fucking game. And he knows it's all fucking tricks. That's why, like, Paperboy approaches him and he's all like, man, we need to talk. And he's like, yeah, man, let's go talk in the car. He's so happy, right? He's just like, because he's
real quick. That's one of my favorite scenes in this episode. Because Paperboy walks up and he knocks his hat off and goes, yo, we gotta talk. And Zan's like, yeah, whatever. Okay, man, yeah, let's go to the car. And you see Zan put his hand behind his back. You're like, oh shit, is he like getting a weapon or some shit? What's he doing? And they go to get back in the car, and he just comes out with another fucking
puts another hat on?
Instead of grabbing one, he just got knocked to the ground. I laughed so hard at that scene, man.
And that's the crazy thing too. He's a fucking pizza boy at the end of the day. He's not just some famous influencer. At the end of the day, he's a fucking pizza delivery guy. You know what I mean? He's a normal fucking person.
He's trying. So, I mean, Paperboy is trying to go from just, some guy that sells pot to rap to get that money, his payday, and then, get out of that game. I mean, Zan's trying to go from pizza boy to, influencer to make that money to get out of that place,
Hey, real quick,
they're the same person when it comes down to it.
I just made a connection. We got Paper Boy and we got Pizza Boy, all about that Pizza Boy.
Oh man. But so that's the one half of this episode. But then the other half and the other conflict is Ern trying to. It starts with Ern just trying to sell his phone to make some money because he needs to get some money to Van and his daughter Lottie. But then he ends up on this crazy journey because of Darius, because he's sitting there and he's getting ready to sell his phone, and Darius is like, "Yo, man, you should get this sword." And I love how it starts because Darius is like sees a samurai sword and he's just transfixed. He's like, oh, and he walks over and he touches it and you just hear it. It's like the soul of the sword speaking to Darius. But Darius goes, "Yo, get this. I can switch this out. I can get you much more money." But Ern's like, "Are you sure, man? Because I need this." And Darius looks at him and just goes, "I mean, man, if you need the money, take the money. That's fine. No big deal. I'm just saying, if you want, I can get you much more." And Ern goes, and the guy comes back and he's like, "Hey, I can give you $190 for the phone." And Ern just goes, "Nah, just trade it for the sword, man." He puts his trust in Darius. And so the thing is, so then you see Darius takes Ern to the Korean place. I think they were Korean.
They might have been Chinese.
He switches it with this guy. Yeah, I mean, who knows? And he switches it with this guy, and Ern's like, "Whoa, are you gonna go? Is he getting the money?" And Darius is like, "Oh, come on." He said, "Meet us out back." And he goes out back and they meet the guy, and the guy comes out with a giant fucking pit bull. And Ern's like, "Where's the money?" and Darius just goes, "Don't worry, man. We just got one more stop to make. We got one more trade to make, and then then you're all good." And then at the end, they ended up at that farm, and they're getting out of the car, and Ern's like, "Yo, man, what's going on here? Like, I mean, are you sure about this?" And Darius says, "Yeah, man, this is I got you. This is legit. This is cool." And Ern goes like, "Well, how much are we gonna make?" And Darius says like, "Between $2,000 and $4,000, man." Or I think he says $2,000 and $4,000 technically, but
$2,000 to $3,000. No, it's $2,000 to $3,000 per puppy, and you get half. That's crazy money. If you think about it, you're like, dogs usually have more than one puppy. You know what I'm saying?
Well, so the thing is, when he got the dog, he got that slip. And when he gave the dog to the farmer, he gave the farmer a slip. I'm guessing that's showing that it's a purebred.
Yes.
So the thing is, though, so then all this goes down, and Ern's like, are you joking? And Ern's like, "Oh, sweet, so when are we going to get the money?" And Darius goes, "September, man." And he's like, "Are you joking?" And he goes, "No." I love how he goes. He looks around like to think about it. He goes, no, I'm not joking." And I love that it's now Ern's mad at Darius, and Ern's like, "Dude, I need that money now. Van needs that money, dude. My daughter needs that money." And Darius just goes, "Yeah, but I told you at the pawn shop if you needed the money to just take the money. I told you if you wanted to make more money, then I could do that for you." And he's very calm because, by the way, like at this point, Ern's clearly upset and like he's getting aggravated. But Darius is just nice and calm. He's like, "Okay, but I told you if you needed the money to just take it." And when he does it, I was just sitting there. I'm like, man, that is so reasonable, and that is so just like yeah, that's exactly what he told you. And at that point, I had a lot of respect for Darius because I'm sitting here and I'm like, if someone's mad and they're like hollering at me and stuff like that, because I don't want to say Ern was yelling, but he was raising his voice. But like, so like if someone's mad and they're hollering at me, like I get defensive, I get heated, and I'm like, no, you know what? Back off, man. I told you what I told you. I did exactly what I fucking told you, and blah blah blah. Like I'll get heated about it. But Darius just goes, "No, man, I told you if you needed the money, just take the money." And so there I'm respecting him. And then he goes and he gives Ern his phone so Ern can sell that and get the money that he needs right now as well. And for him, it wasn't even a thing. It wasn't a thought. He was just like, "Yeah, no, go ahead and take it." Now I know he goes, well, I get a new phone each month so they can't track me. But that wasn't even a part of the decision. The decision for him was just, no, this guy needs this, so I'm just gonna do this. And at that point, I kind of realized, like, I think Darius, I think he's the morality of the show. I think he's the true spirit. I think he's the generosity and the morality, and he's just such an awesome character. And I just thought, like, man, how great would it be to have someone like that as a friend, you know?
He's a very beautiful spirit, man. And it is the, so really what we have, and real quick before I even touch on what I want to touch on, one of the most beautiful, one of the most funny moments, it's like low key, is every time, like when Darius hands the dog and the papers over to the dog guy, finally, the farmer. Yeah. And he walks away. He just like, yes. He's just like, yes. And Ern has no idea what the fuck. He's like, he's left out of the loop. And so are you as an audience member, because Darius is celebrating something and you have no idea what the victory is. And I think you're absolutely right. Darius he's the beautiful spirit of the show. And he is kind of he's just kind of there, man. Like he's the hippy dippy. He's the, omnipresent, sort of like he can kind of see like beyond like what's going on right now, and he kind of like is aware of like all these things. He's aware of the universe that he lives in, I think is a great place to put it. It's a great way to put it. And but the struggle that Ern is going through, so Paperboy's his own struggle, and really that's the show, right? It's these two are finding their own struggles, and it's within this world. And so if Paperboy's
show about people trying to live their lives and the way they're trying to live it, you know?
Yeah. And if Paperboy's struggle is again, it's still continuously fame and the things that come with it. Ern's struggle is poverty and the things that come with it, and the things that he needs to be able to make it, right? And so, and that's really, I mean, you did a great job of like pointing out all the finer details of it, but really that's the juice of this episode, man. It's what's the cost of fame and what's the cost of poverty. You know what I mean? And what the fuck does it do to people?
Do you remember what Ern said to Darius when Darius was like, yeah, we'll get the money in September? He said, no, Van needs that money. My daughter needs that money.
It's like poor people can't do this. Yeah.
He said, I'm poor. Poor people are busy trying to figure out how to not be poor. They don't have time for investments.
Yes.
Which is one of the most true statements I've ever heard ever. Because like, I had a buddy just the other day, we were talking, and I was like, man, maybe I should just be evil, go into politics and make a bunch of money. And he goes, you want to make a bunch of money, man? Just buy a bunch of oil stocks right now. And I just looked at him and I go, with what money, dude? I have money to get through each month and live it a little comfortably, but like I'm not rolling in it,
Right.
I don't have money to buy stocks.
Yeah, man. It's
So one last thing about the Darius of it all, because I just like as we were talking, that scene just played on my screen again, and I just remembered. Well, actually, got two things. So one, I don't know if you noticed, but they start using, I think it's called a flare lens. When you see like the bright little bits of the sunlight, that entire scene has a lot of the flare lens going, where you see those bright patches of sunlight kind of blocking your view of the characters. And I thought it was this episode, I realized, was just a master stroke in cinematography. And I loved it at that point because you're like, they're showing it and you're like, man, okay, there's a little glare on the screen. Like, what's going on here? But then it turns out to be this really deep moment. And that type of lens, that type of shot choice is so good for a moment like that, where you have these really important and really deep things being discussed. But you haven't moved in a while, have you?
No, yeah, I'm here.
Oh, okay, here. Yeah. No, you're still there. No, sorry, I just want to make sure, we keep worrying about the freezing. So, so there was that part, but then the other part was Darius, after he gives Ern the phone and everything, so Ern says thank you, but the way he says it, like, you can tell, like, that's a lot. you know, and it takes there's a lot of pride that earns just being like, you know, kind of letting him go. But I love that Darius gets in the car and he just goes, we're friends now, man.
Yeah.
And he's just got this smile on his face. And that's the thing for him. He's got this friend now. And that's it. Everything about that day is worth it to him, man. I don't know if Darius is even taking a cut from the dogs.
No, I don't think he. That's a big thing. I don't think he is. We get the payoff later, so I need to study that scene. I'm not going to give it anything away.
Absolutely.
Obviously, you guys know.
No.
Obviously, but the thing is, obviously, you guys know money is coming Ern's way. You don't know how much. We don't know anything.
Well, but the
we know
way
money
he says it is, it's 2 to 3K per pup, and half of that is yours, not ours. Yours.
Yes.
So it looks like Darius literally just took an entire day just to help this guy out. And at the end, he's just happy that he's got a friend.
I think that's exactly right, dude. I think that's exactly right.
How pure is that?
It's
so good.
It's fucking beautiful, bro. It's fucking beautiful. And that is the character of Darius.
That's why he's my favorite. Yeah, man. That's why I love him so much.
That is the character of Darius. He is
Such
very
a pure guy.
Yeah, it's non I'm trying to think of the best way to put this, man. He has no affiliation with anything like this side, that side. This, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not anything like he's not playing to anybody's like favoritism. He's not favoring anybody.
No.
All he's doing is he's a wanderer
I
of
can
the
help
universe.
you, so I will help you.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. If you ever he's one of those people where, you know, money and material possessions, they don't mean that much to him. But usually you see that person and it's like, oh, you live on the street corner. Cool. Okay. Yeah, I can see why money and material possessions don't mean much to you because you don't have much. No. Darius actually has a good amount of money. I mean, he works with Paperboy, you know, selling drugs, so he's got a good amount of money. You know, material possessions, he's got a house and that he lives in and everything, you know. But he just doesn't really care about it. It's about the people. It's about measuring a fucking tree.
It's about measuring a fucking tree, just like the first episode.
Yeah,
man.
That's right. Call back to episode 1. What's up?
I love it, man. But yeah, I mean that is this episode. It's a beautiful episode in a lot of different ways. I want to throw a standout moment real quick. If you guys have watched this episode, you know the part where fucking what's his name, Darius takes a dog to like the Asian kind of the Asian warehouse, and in the outside. Right. I don't even. This is so funny. Where Ern is like waiting.
Guy crying.
I don't know if he's Korean, Chinese. It sounds Chinese to me, but I don't fucking know my Asians. So,
well, we presume he's not Chinese because the people inside the warehouse are not Chinese.
How do we know this? I'm not ethnically up on my Asians.
Because when they're walking in the warehouse, Darius is talking about Chinese and how all the Chinese are shorter because of Genghis Khan, and because Genghis Khan had this wheel, and if you were taller than the wheel, then he cut you. And he goes in this whole thing,
right? While
this Asian guy's walking with him, and Darius goes, "Oh, it's cool. He's not Chinese."
That's right. Don't worry, he's not Chinese.
And the guy just goes, "I'm not
Chinese." Okay, fair play to you. Yeah, it could be Korean, it could be Vietnamese, whatever. I don't know. But anyways, little Asian dude outside crying, sitting on the pavement. Like the thing is, this guy is in like pastel colors
next to a fence, next to goats.
He's sitting on the goddamn pavement. He's like crying and talking in like whatever language he's speaking in, and it's fucking. For some reason, I remember busting out laughing. I don't mean to laugh at somebody's pain. But the image of that, if I were to see that in real, if I were to see an Asian person just like crying and they're like out of nowhere, just there's nobody else around, like he's just on the phone like crying and like yelling and just like it looks like a little kid, but you have no idea what the fuck is really going on.
Even more than that, at least in the context of the show. It comes out of nowhere, man.
Nowhere.
Story. It has nothing to do with anything. It's just hilarious.
Oh, just one of the beautiful bits I think I love about this show. But yeah, man, this is a great episode, and we're continuing on with the story with Paperboy and Ern, and we get a lot of character. There's a lot of character development, low key. It's very low key until the end of the payoff. with Darius.
The funny thing is, it's a lot of character. And I would say the payoff with Zan and Paperboy, because Zan, I think, makes Paperboy realize, like, hey, don't take yourself too seriously, man.
Yeah,
we're all just we're all just trying to earn, man. We're all just trying to do what we can do to make that payday. I think Paperboy grew a good amount from that too. But by the way, I love how Zan's got this like real moment, you know, where he's just being just like, yeah, this is how it is. We all know that. And then he's filming the little kid get fucking robbed like an asshole.
Oh man!
How about that scene where Zan goes, "Oh yeah, that's my no, this is my partner."
Yeah, he's like, I would fuck you up. I would fuck you up, but like your son's in the car, and he's like, "Oh, that's not my son. That's my business partner." You're like, what?
And I love he goes, yeah, we do Vine videos together. He goes, hey, say that line, and I think the kid's line is, "Sure, I know, bitch."
Yeah,
and Paperboy's just sitting there like, what? And so Zan goes,
try the other one.
And it's just it's the longest bleeped out thing ever.
Listen, it's bleeped out. Like they let all the cuss words on, and it's still bleeped out. So you never know, like, what the fuck is going on.
Yeah.
I think that's a nice way to end this, is with that little like hilarious tidbit that like people can catch. But like that,
right.
That is this episode. It's fucking great. The Streisand Effect, again, it's about the fame, about the popularity, and we still see Ernst kind of struggle, as we talked about in the last episode, with Go for Broke, right? Like he's still trying to ride that wave and get out of poverty and do the best he can. And I think we now know too. This is a beautiful episode, and I'll end it with this too. Is we now know he's not alone. Like people are out there that are like, I see what you're doing, and you know what, we're gonna help you.
This family,
yes,
the Paperboy family, you know.
That is.
I mean, obviously Al's his cousin and everything, but now Darius, like, and we always said like Darius kind of felt like more of a family member to Al than Ern did,
right?
But now it's starting to feel like. Where it's starting to feel like Ern and Darius are getting that closeness, you know.
That's it right there, man. And you know what? And just to add to that, he could have asked. He probably could have asked Paperboy for the $200. He never asked anybody for anything. Like he's trying to make his way in the world.
I don't think Paperboy would have given him the money.
But he didn't even ask. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like he knew he didn't ask Darius. He didn't ask. You know what I'm saying? He didn't ask. He's not asking for handouts.
But speaking of asking things, this might be important to point out. At this episode, we find out that he's staying at Paperboy's lately. He's not staying at Vans.
That's right.
I mean, yeah, he's still doing the couch surfing, but I do think, because, you know, we did point out, I think since the first episode, how it feels like Ern's trying to figure out, should I, you know, do the family thing with Van and Lottie, or should I try and do this manager thing with Paperboy? So maybe that's a low-key way of pointing out he's kind of moving further into this world and further away from that world. And
you know what? Even more so with that too, and this is the subtle symbology of the episode. You remember when he wakes up before when they come back from the club at the beginning of the episode? When he wakes up, there's a gun pointed to him. Gun to head.
So that was what I was talking about with the. That was one of the main things I was thinking about with the cinematography of this episode, because it starts with he's clearly lying down sleeping, but it's placed vertically, so it's kind of a jarring sense for the audience, and then and he's looking straight at the camera, and he's clearly looking at something. Something has his attention, and it's a loaded goddamn revolver pointing at his face.
Right.
And he doesn't even react. He's just like, whatever. Yeah.
Gun to head, and it's a little. I think it's a literal metaphor for gun to your head, and it doesn't phase him, dude. It doesn't fucking phase him. He's like,
yeah, man.
Yep, it's a gun to my head. So what? We're gonna keep moving. I don't know, man. I love this episode.
Yeah.
Even more, actually. Now that we talked about it, everybody go check it out. Episode 4, The Streisand Effect, Atlanta. Jeff, where can people find you if they want to holla at you?
They can find me quarantined because we all should be right now. You can Skype me at Don Cheadle's driveway at LilDicky2.com. Other than that, you can try and find me on Facebook. I don't know. Fucking Facebook message play can be like, hey, I want to be friends with Jeff on Facebook, and then he'll just be like, why? And then we'll take it from there.
Then we'll start a relationship. We'll start our Paperboy family from there. You can check the show out, Unfiltered Bachelor, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, Stitcher, Spotify, iTunes, anywhere podcasts are. That's where we are. You can find me, Money Blakeweather, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat. Everybody follow the show. Tell your friends to tell their friends. Share it. Review the episode. Do what you can. If you love Atlanta, tell a friend that loves Atlanta too to check out the show. See if you agree with our points. If you have any things that stick out to you about this episode, feel free to email us, unfilteredbachelor@gmail.com. Until the next time, we will see you. Thank you so much for tuning in, whether it's morning, evening, afternoon. And stay tuned for part 5 because we're about to record that right now. Peace.
Part 5.
Girl, what's your problem? 'Cause I know it's hard sometimes. Baby, just give me some time. Ooh, honey, now, girl, we can solve them. If you just give me some time, I can open up your